which we are gathered, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to the City Infrastructure Committee meeting of the 15th of August. I declare this meeting open at 9:37 a.m. I'd like to advise attendees in the room that this meeting is being webcast and audio recorded. At this stage we have leave of absence. Councillor Karansky is a leave of absence. No others. Can I have a mover? Councillor Karansky. Thank you. Councillor Bradley, seconded by Councillor Raven. All those in favour, raise your hands. Councillor Bannon. Good job. That's been carried unanimously. Thank you very much. There is no reports to consider because our mighty Infrastructure Committee has been working so hard. We've delivered so many reports this year that we've just going to take a breather. So that being said, general business. Do we have any general business from councillors? Mr. Director, I would like to say from my division that the road improvements on Stubbs Road, Elm Avenue and the speed humps along Valorum Drive are being very gratefully received. So thank you very much to the team on doing that. There was also a number of cubic metres of rubbish dumped in Kingston recently, which the RCM crew picked up. They did it very quickly. They did it for the safety of their workers, and it's not acceptable that this rubbish dumping continues, but our council team worked very hard to retrieve it as fast as possible, so thanks for that. Do you have any general business for us?
Yes, councillors, I thought I would just assure you that we have been very busy and we are continuing to be very busy. So just give you a few updates. The end of year capital delivery through the roads area, 140 million, biggest ever capital delivery program for this council. There will be a full report that the manager will provide at the next round of committee. As you would know from driving around your electorates, there's jobs going everywhere. The three biggest jobs in our history, Logan Lee Road, Chambers Flat Road, Mundoolan Road, and also the drainage projects in Cowper and Kelly are underway and they'll continue for the next year. Excitingly, we opened the Gunnagai Drive cycleway bridge in the last couple of weeks. That will now link the Slacks Creek cycleway to the new V1 cycleway that is being built along the motorway. So that's exciting. RCM has been busy with all the road rehabilitation projects that are starting to flow now through the funding from QRA. So we'll see in the new year some of those big packages, especially out in the west and the south, being delivered. One of the learnings from the recent RCM service level review was a learning or an opportunity to improve customer service, and successfully we've transitioned all first point of contacts for customers through to the customer service area rather than going straight down to RCM. That's seen an immediate improvement in the fact that we've been able to action 72% of requests at first point of contact, and we've had a 28% reduction in repeat calls, and that's only been because of the work of both customer service and RCM. So that's a great improvement, and hopefully that will flow through for councillors having to receive less follow-up. In the road infrastructure planning area, the priority has obviously been on getting the work done for the planning scheme, which you obviously adopted earlier on today, especially the flood map in the planning code and the planning scheme policy work. Also been working on the development of the next LGIP, so they've been working closely with planning and finance in regard to that work. And the work on our artificial intelligence and machine learning for road pickups is still well underway and really getting some traction. So we'll be looking at continuing that work with University of Queensland. Logan Water delivered $115 million of capital delivery over the last year. The upgrade of the Logan Home wastewater treatment, which takes over 80% of our wastewater from the whole of council, is continuing, is about 80% complete, and will finish in 2024. Council also approved at the last round of meetings the net zero strategy, and so Logan Water will get on to the delivery of those first stage projects now. And lastly, but not least, is last week we held a local disaster management group exercise. It was a disaster exercise. It was an exercise based on the worst possible scenario of a flooding exercise, a flooding event in council. We had all of our agency partners at that exercise. Councillor Lane chaired that exercise. We came away with lots of good information and learnings from the agency partners as well, and it really tested their ability to react in that type of circumstance. No magic bullets, but I suppose a clearer understanding of what would have to happen in one of those major events. Just a brief update, just to, like I say, let you know we're still here and we're still keeping busy. Thank you.
Mr Mayor.
I've got a number of questions. When is the anticipated finish of Loganley Road? Because I'm hit with that question.
I'd say in 2025, but Darryl, do you have a better... It's a $73 million project, so...
Yeah, no.
Madam Chair, it was about an 18-month project for us. We're getting towards that 6 months in, so we've still got a considerable way to go.
And while you're there, Darryl, don't move. Turning right from Loganley Road into Queens Road, in the design, are we increasing the capacity of cars to allow that? Because many cars turn right, and quite often people can't get into that turning lane because there's not enough capacity there. Are we increasing that capacity?
I don't know that off the cuff. I know we did a full streams analysis of the entire road, so we certainly looked at all of the intersections for our peak AM and PM traffic. I'll get an extract of that intersection drawing and I'll send that up to you so you've got detail on that. But certainly the capacity at the intersections was the biggest challenge for the road, and certainly something that we took into consideration. And
over to you, Mr Director. I know we're dealing with floods last week, but now the new potential is fires. Have we had many fire break burns this year? Because I'll be honest, I've been not looking at, normally I see the smoke, I know what's going on, but I haven't noticed too much. Have we been able to do quite a few burns this year?
Look, it's not in my area, but I can definitely tell you that we have actually had a very good year in being able to do fire burns from not only our own teams, but also in conjunction with Queensland Fire and Rescue Services. So I'll be able to get you the exact numbers, but yes, we have been doing burns.
And can we get that on some council report? Because I think people should be able to avail that information, because the potential for a fire outbreak and see, I know Brisbane have been planning a lot of fire breaks as well. A lot of concern about the climate change this round, and that we're going to have perfect conditions for more fires this season. I'm just wondering whether we could make sure that people know that we have been working hard to try and prevent that.
Councillor, the Community Lifestyle Committee is later this week, so I'll make sure that I pass that request on to Parks and they can bring it up as GB if you like.
Councillor Bradley.
My apologies, I'll just withdraw that. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Councillor Wilcox.
Thank you. Thank you, Sylvia. Just wondering, QRA funding, you just said in the new year. Can you just clarify which roads, when? Do you have that?
The packages for the bigger road projects that received betterment funding are being packaged up to go out to contractors for the start early in the new year. So that would include, I believe, New Beef and Greenbank roads, which are those two that received a lot of money through the betterment funding projects.
Darryl, are you eager to chip in there? No? Okay. Just wondering if I've been wanting an update from all the roads branches, because last I knew that was supposed to start by the end of this year for those two roads especially.
I'll take that on notice and get back to you.
No other questions? Thank you very much. That concludes the agenda for today. I declare the Mighty City Infrastructure meeting, committee meeting closed at 9:47 a.m. Thank you very much.